Welcome, Your Excellency. Thank you very much for joining us today for this very important conversation. Now, Abu Dhabi has the rare and lucky, really, opportunity among cities to be able to plan long-term rather than retrofit. So what principles are guiding how the city is being designed today based on the exchange of knowledge and experiences with leading cities around the world?
First of all, thanks for having me here. That's actually a very good question. It is indeed a rare opportunity for us. It enables us to really shape the growth of Abu Dhabi city with a much more future-focused vision, while we still try to build in enough flexibility to be able to adapt to challenges and opportunities moving forward. That approach is becoming a lot stronger through our global relations and partnerships. Abu Dhabi's cooperation agreements that we've recently established with cities such as Seoul, Shenzhen, Brisbane, has enabled us to share knowledge and expertise, experiences and practices across multiple aspects of urban priorities. And that really is becoming the main driver of how we can manage and maintain the growth of the city of Abu Dhabi as we're moving forward.
So you have been observing, you have been learning, and you've built that dialogue with other cities facing different challenges, and some are very similar too. We're now going to talk about something I mentioned in my introduction, is the important role of technology, from data platforms to smart mobility, and how it's reshaping urban design. How is Abu Dhabi using technology not just as an add-on, but as a foundation for more efficient, livable, and resilient cities?
Today, Abu Dhabi heavily relies on, let's say, importing technologies that would enable us to really take things to the next level. We have just recently launched an app, a platform that heavily relies on artificial intelligence. We call it Bina. And that platform enables us to conduct initial review and screening of designs. Such implementation has enabled us to reduce a lot of non-added value activities, speed up the process of getting those design reviewed, increase the accuracy of that review by almost 70%. And that really played a huge role on making sure that technology today is becoming the main driver of how we're going to be promoting for operational efficiency, making sure that our design and development of the city of Abu Dhabi is done based on the best standards and in alignment with the government directions.
So we are now going to dive into some of the challenges you are facing. Because in an area or a city like Abu Dhabi, there's rapid urban growth. Of course, you are welcoming many new inhabitants to the city, and that can create tension, maybe between the need for speed, but also the need to be sustainable. So how do you balance this need to deliver housing and infrastructure at speed with the goal of building cities that will be resilient in the long term and last for generations?
That is a big challenge, and the way we've approached this was to first acknowledge that slowing down is not an option, making sure that we keep up with the pace, and actually in most cases try to lead the world when it comes to that aspect is something that we definitely need to do. The way we do this is we make sure we identify the right information to make sure that our planning and forecasting is done right. And then we also heavily rely on the community members, whether being residents, individuals, businesses, to make sure that we future-proof the design and development of the city of Abu Dhabi. We try to strike the right balance between having a solid plan that will enable me to make sure that I have the right resources when needed, but also have enough built-in flexibility to maneuver around the changes and differences and challenges that happen. And that has enabled us to really have a environmentally sustainable, solid projects that were built based on the best standards out there and definitely is going to yield city infrastructure, city components that are going to stay, live, serve for decades to go.
What I'm hearing this is the need to be efficient and to deliver that vision for an approach that is really human-centric. I think that's very important.
Exactly. This is one of the very first things that we also wanted to make sure is we manage the expectation of people by involving them in making decisions related to the different components that affect their daily lives, improve the quality of life on a daily basis. So when we cooperate them in all of our process, whether it's planning, we actually involve them in initiatives and campaigns, not only to plan the city, but also to help us to maintain the different aspects of managing that city. And that kind of enables them to feel empowered. It gets them to really be the main driver of everything that we do at Department of Municipality and Transport.
To end this conversation, since you mentioned it's important to future-proof our cities, we are going to look forward and look ahead. What would success look like for Abu Dhabi's urban development, and what decisions made today will matter the most in getting there? What's crucial here?
For us, success is defined by building on the strength that we have already established. One of the, let's say, the most successful component that we initiated back in 2023 was coming up with the livability strategy. And that strategy makes sure that people have all of their basic needs within walking distance. All of other needs are available within a very specific proximity, just to make sure as the city grows, it becomes scalable, it continues to meet the expectations of people. So that's something that we were proud to have implemented, and we continue to build on as we're moving forward. And that to us is how we measure our success, while we also make sure that we continue to make sure that we have, like what I told you before, enough flexibility to be able to maneuver around the future changes that may come based on trends, changing directions and visions.
And we wish you much success in that endeavor. Many thanks to you, Your Excellency. Thank you for a wonderful, very insightful conversation indeed
so much,
on the future of our cities.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.